Good morning to all. I'm going to take a topic of memory technology, and then cache memory. And basically, memory is an important part of a computer. So we know, and here the data is stored in the computer like storing the books in the cells. So compared to a human being, the only advantage of computer is adding additional memory to the CPU. So memory is already we are all know about in the computer. Next one is memory hierarchy. So the memory hierarchy is the structure of memory hierarchy having a multiple levels of memory. So that is, the first level is a CPU and second levels are caches, and next the disk. So the CPU can access a memory easily, that is very smallest memory access time, and the level is increases, the access time is also increases, that is the memory size is increases, and then the memory size also, the accessing time is also increases. And next one is the terms in the memory hierarchy. So first one is block. What is a block means the single unit of information that is present or not present in a memory, that is called block. So here this is a single block that is stored the information in the memory. And next one is hit. What is a hit means the fraction of memory access found in the level of memory hierarchy. That is, I have an information in the memory that is called hit. And next one is hit rate, miss rate. And miss means the fraction of memory access not found in a level of memory hierarchy. So that is, I didn't have information in the memory. Next, hit rate. So what is a hit rate means time required to get the information from the memory. So from the upper level of a memory hierarchy, I am get the information from CPU, that is called hit rate. And next one is miss penalty. What is a miss penalty means I didn't have information in the memory, so I have to fetch the block of information into the memory from the upper level to lower level. So that is called miss penalty. This will include the accessing time of a block. And next one is memory technologies. The primary technologies are 4 technologies. So first one, RAM, static RAM, dynamic RAM, flash, and disk. So here the first 3 options are made up of semiconductor memory, and next one is magnetic memory. The semiconductor memory is the first one, static random memory. So static random memory is simply integrated circuit with the memory array. So here the single access board that can provide the access, that is, it can provide only read or write. So at a time we can perform only read or write. We cannot perform both operation at a time. So next, the SRAM. The SRAM is a fixed access time. That is, within the time we have to access a read and we have to write the data. So the read option have a different access time, and write option have a different access time. So the SRAM do not refresh. So that is, the access time is close to where clock cycle. So we cannot refresh the data. So refresh means we cannot rewrite the data. So SRAM made up of 8 transistors, and it prevents the data from the disturbance. So here we are using only transistors. So it is transistor prevent the data from the disturbance. And next one is, it needs a minimal power only, and this can be used as a primary or secondary memory. Next one is dynamic random access memory. So the DRAM is a charge on a capacitor, so it cannot be kept indefinitely and must periodically be refreshed. That is, instead of transistor we are using a capacitor, so we can refresh the data. So that is, we can read the data, and we can again write it back to the data. So the refresh shells provides a charge on the capacitors. And next, the DRAM have a 2 level of decoding structure. So first structure, the entire row will be provide read cycle followed by write cycle. So both option can be performed in the entire cycle. So that is called 2 level of decoding structure. And next, this will help to increase the performance. So the internal structure of a DRAM. So here the data are stored as a row, and the row wise is called bank, memory bank, and this is a column wise data. So here the activate and pre-charge commands. So first the pre-charge command opens and closes the bank. So to get the information, first we have to open and close the bank detail. So next one is activate. The activate is sent to the row address and it will get the information from the buffer. That is, it transfer the data from row to column wise. And next, by changing the address, the random bit can be accessed in the buffer. So until the next data next row access, so it increases access time and memory bandwidth. So here we can sending an address to several bank permits them all to read and write simultaneously. So the simultaneously process, it will increases the memory access time and performance also. And next one is flash memory. So flash memory is a electrically erasable programmable read only memory, that is EEPRO. That is, the flash product spread the writes into many times onto the blocks. That is, it remapping the data. This is called wear leveling. So due to the wear leveling, this erase the data. So because we cannot use in this flash memory in the CPUs. That is, basically the manufacturer is incorrect. And second one, fourth one is disk memory. So what is a disk memory is? It is a magnetic hard disk. So it consists of collection of plotters. So which rotate the spindle at 5004 to 15,000 revolution per minute. So this is a disk. This is made up of magnet recording material, and here we are having a circle. The circle is called a track, and each track having a sector, and the sector is the information that store the memory. And next, this is a read write movable arm. The movable arm rotate on the disk surface and it find the data from the disk. And next, here the sectors having a information byte levels are 512 to 4096 byte. So here the each sector having a sector number, information, error correcting code, and then next sector number. So for that we are find the next sector number by using this movable arm. And next one is, to access the data from the disk, the OS perform 3 stages of process. So first one is the process position to head over the proper track. That is, find the track on the disk. So that is called seek, and the time taken to find the track is called seek time. Second, once we have to find the track, we have to find the sector, and we have to desire the read write head rotate on the disk, and then you have to find the sector. So the time taken to rotate on the disk is called rotational latency. And last two component is disk access. So that is transfer time. So that we have to get the information from the transfer the data from the buffer to the block. And last one is cache memory. So cache memory is the fastest among all these memories. It is one type of SRAM, but it is a special memory. Why it is a special memory means data which is frequently required by the CPU can be supplied by this cache memory. So here this cache is divided into 3 types: L1 cache, L2 cache, and L3 cache. So first one is L1 cache, is a fastest memory. So that is, for example, we are using a multi-threaded, simultaneous process, CPU process. So here each CPU, each core having a special programming, individual program. So the tiny amount of cache is indicated inside the CPU. That is, every CPU have a small individual cache, that is called L1 cache. So whatever the information needed for every cache, every CPU, it access from the individual cache also. So it is very fastest cache. So the L1 cache, that is divided into